showing up for life, end of days, and the most interesting OnlyFans. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do. Fuck is going on at your house today?
I don't know. 30 seconds. I'm in the kitchen. Can you close my office doors, please? Thank you. Thank you.
I love the thank you for something nobody wants to do.
We can also sit here and watch and see how long these doors are going to remain open.
Oh, there's
no one is going to fucking close them. And even if we do, we already know the dog's going to come in and go donk and slide them open with his big ass nose because they're what do you call it? Pocket doors, sliding doors, fuck off doors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear listener and dearest Amy. How are you?
Hey, oh, tits up. Let's go. Oh, they heard that. Can you close my office doors, please? Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. No.
Yep, the preemptive thank you, and still doors are open. Yes, I love it.
Everyone walks around with fucking ear cancer in this place because they're continually have shit jammed in their face where they don't listen to anything that I'm saying.
Ear cancer.
Well, everything is cancer, and I guess it's horrible that we have never been afflicted with cancer, that I think it's okay to use the word cancer. I guess in families where cancer has come a calling, people don't use it as a big old joke. Like, we don't joke about things like heroin in our family, but I will tell you, cancer, we have jerk cancer in our house.
Okay, fair enough. As long as you understand it as
it's not good. Yeah.
Something you can't take on the road. And I will give you a tiny, horrifying example of that.
Great. Let's kick it off with some sickening physical ailments. Okay, come on.
Ugh, I'd rather kill myself than do that is a phrase I've heard in my household.
No.
Until your community is rocked with rampant suicide. And
we can't have that in our house. I can't handle it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's a horrible phrase, but it's flippantly thrown out.
It creeps me out, but then I'll say things like bust a nut before really realizing what I'm talking about, and that's gross. Like, why would I be talking about?
That's not suicide. I mean, that's
I'm just
not,
saying,
right.
We all say things and get really comfortable with saying them. I had a friend at the pool who I will not name and shame, although I should, who said the R word, and we said, you're not going to say that anymore. And he's like, really? But it's just you guys. Can I? And I'm like, no, you're super not going to. He's like, well, what can I say then? And I'm like, you can say anything else you want. And we sort of worked out what was okay to say and shame and name and what wasn't and why that was. And he was sort of looking at us like, yeah, okay, I don't know if I'm really going to buy into this. And I'm like, you are when you're around me. You are when you're around me, idiot. Which is hilarious.
Gave me the best idea ever.
Which is hilarious because idiot is actually a government classification of mental status. We've just forgotten it. So, but I also feel like you could rise above idiocy. You could rise above. I feel like that's why the R word is so among the many, I was going to say uniquely, why it is so sickening to just throw around, because it's a classification. It's where you are, and it's not something that can change. My eyes are a certain color. They happen that way when I popped out. They're not changing. I can do lots of things to make them appear a different way. I can whatever, but they are what they are. And if you want to shame me for that, that's a part of me forever. I can't really adjust it. If you call me an idiot and I go get my book learning on and I work really hard and surround myself with lots of paper, I can rise above I can take a test out of the government classification, right? So I don't know if I'm advocating or sounding like a bigger dickhole than everybody else, but I just don't like that word. So I'm going to shut up because this really was, who cares while we're talking about this?
I am going to start today's show with a 30 seconds with Amy.
Jesus,
because I can, and because you just gave me the best idea. I'm scrapping the one I had prepared for today.
I don't like you ever, and now worse of liking. You have sunk in your like value.
That's so funny because you post, we're the closest of friends. We swear. Like,
no, that's a lie. That's not truth in marketing. I don't like you. And if I had any like for you, it's tanked. It's all right. I got to have a new chart.
Dear listener, if you are new to the show, welcome. And where the fuck have you been? Every show, I take 30 seconds and I put Amy on the hot seat, which all started because I said my biggest fear is a timer, and timers make me fucking crazy. So Amy says, it's just a timer, Melissa. There's nothing wrong with a timer. And I said, bring it, bitch. We now have a whole segment for our show, and we have for a while, where I give Amy 30 seconds to shout out as many whatevers along with the topic as she can. And this week's topic, as my thumb is on the start button, Amy, in the next 30 seconds, please give me as many euphemisms for retard as you can. Go.
Oh, my God. This is too mean. My heart hurts. It's too mean. Everything that comes to mind, I'm like, I can't say that.
Shout it out.
I'm taking a 0 on this one. I'm taking a pass.
No, you are not.
Charming person. Delightful human of God. Fuck you, Melissa. This test is a dick. No, I can't. I physically can't go there. I physically can't even go there. I can't. Okay. Reduced capacity learner. That's it.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Fuck you. I'm not doing it. That's mean.
I'd like you to flash back at maybe 600 of the things you've called your children in the last 20 years.
They're fucking stupid. That's different. Yep, and I'm going to hit him with a book. I'm just saying.
You want to try again?
I pictured
yeah,
a person in front of me.
Yeah.
Who has
Don't picture anything.
Who
picture
has
your
been
kids.
medically categorized as this.
All right,
and I
you
thought,
are missing
what else?
points.
What else can I say about your categorization? What else might I call it? And I don't have them, nor do I. Neurodiverse doesn't even cover it because it's not really neurology, is it? I don't fucking know.
Were those the words you were giving Jimmy at the pool? Oh, did I say a name?
No,
I don't
because
know
he
who
didn't mean it.
Oh, it was Jimmy.
No, no. Fuck him. It was Scott. So yeah, no, it wasn't Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy would be the first one to say, "Yeah, I use it." And what are you going to say about it?
But that's what I guessed. I was wrong.
Yes,
I'm
Jimmy,
sorry.
our friend, the medium-powered attorney. No, this is. He wasn't using the term to talk about someone with a mental or medical condition. He was using that term as a slur by grabbing a hold of some other group and saying, boy, they got it really shitty. Nobody wants that. Let me put that shit on you. That's how he was using it. Right. So in your list, I was trying to come up with, no, what I was saying to him is you can say, if you want to use that term, you can say jerk. You can say
it's too late. The timer's off. It's too late.
Me.
You lost. You got a 0.
Okay. Well, I don't like you. We started already there.
You are a 0 today.
Oh my gosh.
But don't worry. Okay. Even Hercules went from 0 to hero. So you have a chance.
This whole show is off the fucking rails and I'm here for it.
Just flush it.
You're the worst.
The whole thing.
You're the worst.
I am the worst.
You and your limited capacity shame spiral.
So I have spent great. Now you show up. That's great. So I've kind of spent the last week or so kind of going through, I did it again. My daughter's graduating today from high school. My son is out and thriving, I want to say.
Sounds like it's prison. My son is out.
Of the house.
We got a prison.
He's free.
We got a prison cake. Yeah.
We got cake. I do love cake. Today was donuts, not cake. Maybe there'll be cake later.
Welcome back to ADD Theater, guys. Whew. This morning's episode brought to you by 2 idiots.
So I've been thinking about life in the next stages and where my kids are going and how excited I am for them. And my son, again, is going to camp. My daughter's going to college, the whole 9, right? Graduation, next stage of life. Yeah. And I had been on Nextdoor. Do you use that app at all?
I don't. I'm aware of it.
Well, there was a guy who posted, he's 91 years old. I was going to read it to you, but every time you open Nextdoor, it reboots to what's now, and it lost me. So I'm going to go by what I read. And I will tell you, he posts, "Hi, my name is Jean so-and-so. I am a 91-year-old former orthodontist."
Good for you, Gene, for using that technology to your advantage.
And he's 91. And he says, "I'm wondering if any of you on here," Nextdoor, which is an app people don't really surf like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It's something that, sends you a
Sharon,
message.
come get your cat.
Yes, it sends you a message that says, I found this bird. What the fuck is it? Does it belong to someone, or am I holding a free animal captive? Like,
Derek had a bumper crop of jalapenos this month, and
pick
they're
them
left
up on my
the
doorstep.
porch for you.
Yes, porch pickup. That's what it is. It's the porch pickup app from hell. So I read this thing while there for something else, some porch pickup. I've never gone to someone else's porch and picked up any of their shit. Have you?
I say no. I leave
Yeah.
lots of shit on my porch, and other people pay me cash to get it. It's very weird.
I'm going to dig into that in a minute. So Jean leaves this post that says, blah, 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 orthodontist. If you have been a patient of mine, please write me.
Oh.
He's come to end of life, right? He wants
Oh my
accolades.
God.
He's a wild narcissist, I see, but he wants to know, what was your experience with my practice, and how are your teeth now?
On Nextdoor?
So fucking weird. So I
Jean,
read this thing.
let me help you.
And I think, I'm going down this rabbit hole. Like, look out. Anybody
you
who had
kept
something
reading.
to say to me for the next 2 hours, go fuck yourselves, because I need to know. Oh my God. I'm 60 years old. I remember your practice. Thank you so much for this. Jean writes back to every single one of them. One of them said, I hated your practice. I was yelled at every time I was there for doing things I never did, like chewing gum and eating sticky foods. And I really resented it. I hated it. And that was the end of her post. And he writes back.
Where do you live?
Yeah.
Something stretched out those rubber bands. Something had to do. Like, he's still accusing her of chewing gum.
Jean,
He's
let it
91.
go.
Right. And then in the end, he's like, you never told me how your teeth are now. I think it's a fetish. What do you think?
I think Jean is mistakenly using Nextdoor as the
Definitely.
good housekeeping seal of the Better Business Bureau report card. Like what? Who? How many? How? Stop! Why?
Oh my God! It was like a 90, 100 posts after him. Just
where did he
answering his
live?
things.
Is this in your neighborhood, or is this like? Is there best of Nextdoor? Like you can sort of go in.
Definitely not the best of. This is like worst of
the
next
new
door.
series on Netflix. This
But
week,
like a
in
surrounding
Springfield.
township. Yes. Yes. Might actually have been Springfield. Like it's a surrounding
Jean.
township. And I thought
Jean.
so many things. One, oh, Jean, that was the first. Two, you're 91 and now you're looking for approval from former clients, patients, customers, whatever this is. Three, why are you asking so many tooth questions? Like, what is going on? This looks like a fetish to me. Like, you want to hear, yeah, I still have all my teeth. You want to see them? I'll send you pictures. What's your phone number? Like,
Let's
what?
go on a
Send them to my-
platform designed to connect communities around where we live. And I'm going to use it to
Yes.
get personal reviews of my career of service.
So
that
weird,
seems
right?
like a good combination. Let's do it.
So
And
weird.
when you bring a review I don't like, I'm going to challenge you and blame you.
Well, something stretched out those rubber
have I caught
bands,
up? Have I
Cappy.
caught up to you, Jean?
So
What the fuck
weird.
are you doing?
So at the time, I'm kind of locked in the basement with my kids and my dogs because the cleaning ladies are here and it's too early to go outside and do things because nothing's really open yet. And I had to wake children to bring them to like a bedroom downstairs to fall asleep again. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're all kind of packed into the same room. Think in your head like power outage and only one room has an air conditioner. So everybody piles into one room. And I'm reading this thread and I don't know what sounds are coming out of me, but the kids, my husband, the dogs are all looking at me with a tilted head to the side. Like, what is wrong with mommy? Like, what's going on?
Okay, guys. So we're all going to go down to the basement. I'm going to lock the door and laugh my head off reading Nextdoor. Guys,
But I think I was more disturbed. Like, Jean, you got to let it go. Find joy anywhere else. Find it in a 30 Seconds with Amy. Find it on a charming podcast. Find it anywhere else. Find it. I think I once posted somebody was making jewelry out of old teeth.
Yeah.
I think it's actually on our Instagram if you want to
You
go
made
to
me
Listen
look at that
Brilliant.
one time.
Yes,
you're
you
really
can find
bad with
it
the
there.
things that you put in my brain.
But don't you think Gene would love that?
No.
No.
I
Because it's
think-
not telling him how great he is?
Exactly. He would have an issue with the quality of the molars, that were used in the
How
earrings.
they were pulled.
Mm-hmm. Somebody had to be stretching out those molars.
I couldn't believe, because I thought when God willing, I hit 91. Like, that's a dream. Some people did say, I remember you fondly. It was like 1 or 2 out of the 107 or 8. It's probably still tallying right now as it pops up on people's
That's such
next door.
That's such a weird comment to leave. I remember you fondly. Why did you type that? Why did you take the time to type it? You either love him or you hate him. I think neutral of you. I mean,
I got nothing.
I took my time out of my day to read about you, think about you, and assess you as a 3. Like, why did you take your time to put that there? Who are you helping?
So he writes back,
Oh,
you haven't told me if your teeth are healthy or what teeth you have left or you haven't given me an update on your teeth. I'm sorry, that's a fetish, Jean. That's just a fetish.
you haven't given me an update. So
On your teeth.
you're not following my rules on this
Right.
wrong
Oh my God, he's an
platform.
orthodontist. Like, does that not tell you something right there?
Yikes. So maybe those orthodontists are like, they fucking got hard on for getting your teeth right. Oh my God. So maybe there's something about orthodonty school where they get in there with the drills and the nitrous and you maybe kind of tweak out and lose it and you can't be a member of regular society or participate in apps because the only thing is the fucking teeth. I mean, that's how Gene is.
He went crazy and he said, I mean, the only thing he didn't say was send pics. I mean, feet, dick, teeth, whatever it is, just send pics,
Oh my
like post
God.
pics.
Silver molars preferred.
It's shocking. I feel that dentists and orthodontists are, well, obviously they're incredibly detailed humans. They are
I was going
dealing
to say
with
brave, gross. What?
Well, first of all, you're sticking your hands in an orifice that can snap at you and hurt you. And you're better off with gynecology because nothing's snapping
It's sharp
and
in there. It's dark. There's blood. It's ouchy. It stinks. You could get super diseases. They're
All of
other
those
people's
things.
food.
You're trusting
God.
other people to clean someplace that it's
You can't see. You got to get all those weird fucking mirror sticks in there so you don't even know what the fuck you're doing.
and lighting. You're going in a cave, so you need like
God.
lighting and so attention to detail. And
And
this
the
is from
spit
somebody
vacuum.
who has.
Yeah.
This is coming from Melissa, who has an entirely like rebuilt mouth of joy. That is now my title.
I
Sorry.
can't, first of all, I can't even handle it when I think about what you must have had to go through.
I
to
can't
get those
handle it
beautiful
either.
chompers. It's so gross. And then, but you and like Joe Biden both, you're like, bing, you're the super toothpaste commercial. You're ready to go. Ding. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Don't you feel like Joe's come out all at once? Or do you feel like he had tooth by tooth?
Everybody who has that smile, I think, man, they got a great smile. And then it's like 2 days later when I'm like, oh, is that,
Wait a
are
minute.
those, is that a, what do you call it? An augmented smile? Is that a something smile? Is that thing? No, I don't think he has dentures. I think he has clap-ons. What are they called?
Clap on. Clap off. Clap on. Veneers. They're called porcelain
I don't
veneers.
know. I'm just here to tell you that everybody has
The
tuned in
clapper.
this week to talk about Joe Biden's teeth.
The
That's what
chomper.
That's what they've.
Chomp
We had a whole
on.
board of fucking shit to talk about. Can we?
Chomp off.
Fuck is the matter with us?
The chomper. Jean, you lived a good life. Please stop looking to other people to tell you what a great job you did. And the quirk and kink of what are your teeth looking like now? How is it now?
Well, my
Did
point
I do
is
a good
take
job?
it to Tooth Talk. There's a different location for you to be having this fucking weird ass shit.
You're right. There probably is Tooth Talk.
I guarantee you there's a Tooth
Oh
Talk.
my God, there totally is. I'm going to try to get on there tonight. Wait till I search
That's so
teeth.
gross. No,
It
you'll
is
be
gross. I can't
terrified
even
and
search
frightened.
it.
Thank you. Please, I'm so grateful I stopped that.
The TikTok rabbit hole down which I have fallen gladly is, can you believe my fucking neighbor talk?
Oh my
Because
God.
for some reason I get joy. It used to be Karen's, but then I realized my blood pressure is going high up when this woman is on a plane and using slurs and just freaking out. It really upsets me. So I don't watch those anymore. See less of these.
Yes.
But the neighbors who like encroaching, like all of these words that I really didn't factor into my life before. But my fence line and a camera and my doorbell caught my neighbor doing this. I'm all in. Hours could pass and I'd be like, did I miss a meal? And if you are a dear listener, you know I've never missed a fucking meal. So
Or a TikTok. Yep.
Or a TikTok.
True.
Yeah, that's my new thing. So while I did tease on my intro that there is an OnlyFans account that might be interesting to anybody other than Melissa.
So I was poking around on the internet and I noticed, as you do, and I noticed that someone in my stream of followers posted the craziest TikTok, and everyone has been going crazy for it. And the answer is I can actually play it for you. And then, we can look at the audios better later because she's there talking and she does it. She does it better than I can fucking do it is the name of that tune. This woman went to a waxing salon regularly, then come to find out that the woman who had been giving her bikini waxes.
Someone, by the way, that you trust implicitly because you have now put your feet way up in the air and your asshole spread. Go ahead.
Was filming her.
Shut up.
And posting their waxing sessions.
Shut your filthy mouth.
On an OnlyFans account.
Oh, my God.
And the woman found out and told her to take it down. And the waxing person said, but I'll lose all my tips. What if I pay you half? And she refused to take it down. And so now this woman is like, this woman is like, I have identifiable tattoos. She's got me. I think the phrase that she used was spread open like a butterfly. Right? I mean,
that's what I said. Yeah.
It's the funniest fucking TikTok you've ever heard in your life. And the woman would not take it down. She was like, oh, but I make money. I'll give you some.
Doesn't she have legal recourse for that?
That's where it went very, very quickly. But I think
the
reality is,
very
how
quickly.
can you ever get waxed again? Do you have to have like a waxing buddy? Do you have to like keep one eye open while you're in excruciating pain? Like, how do you fucking do this? What is going on?
Okay, let's slowly. How many times have you been somewhere compromised and thought, is there a camera? Like, have you been in a bathroom that was kind of sketchy and been like, I feel like that drain, that's a camera. Like, I feel like, and you have this feeling that's just off from a situation. You go to a boutique and you change in a changing room. And there are techniques where you can touch the mirror and see if there is a space between, then there's a room behind it and they're watching you. And there's always that hint.
There's what? Where, what? What kind of eyes wide shut boutiques are you going to, baby? How am I supposed to touch it? Is there a secret room? When do I find out? What do I touch? How do I figure out if there's somebody watching me in a chair? Ew.
OnlyFans is where you go. That's how you find out.
No. We're taking a dog leg. You mean when I'm in the JCPenney boys department dressing room, I touch the mirror?
Should we talk about why you're there first?
I was just trying to come up with someplace unlikely.
You can say Lomans because that's the one store I remember where it's just a group, a big rectangle of a changing.
Was disgusting. It was the YMCA bathroom with everybody.
But then watch me. But you're blatantly watching me. Your Nana is watching me. Your son, who's a little too old to be in the women's dressing room, is watching me eye to eye. But every once in a while, I mean, in life, I feel like I'm on camera somewhere. Like, this is the most ridiculous shit. But when you're in a compromised position, taking a shit at Applebee's, whatever it is, as you do. What are you laughing about? I've seen you there. When you're at the House of Blues in New Orleans and throwing up your Goldschlager.
Yes, I've done all these. When you're in a compromised position, ... taking a shit at Applebee's is maybe not my go-to compromise, but I love it for you. I love that journey for you. Is shitting compromise? I find you funny.
Yeah, I mean your pants.
I hate you though.
Don't
try and bring your joy into my life, you trickster. I don't like you.
I feel like anytime your pants are down, you're compromised, right?
Okay.
You're not.
All right. Okay. Sure, I can get behind that.
And there's like the fan. I think I've seen too many 2020s where there have been cameras and people have watched, and you've discovered in somebody's basement VHS tapes. By the way, they would not be on VHS tapes anymore of changing rooms. And they say if you put your nail up to the mirror in the changing room and there's a space between you touching it, it looks like you're not touching it even though you are. That means there's a room on the other side. And dear listener, please write in and tell me I'm not crazy. How would I do that, Melissa? brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Go to Amy's mind is blown. Go to Facebook at Brilliant Observations or Listen Brilliant. Go on to Instagram or Twitter and tell Amy that I'm not crazy.
Go on to OnlyFans and look for JCPenney boys dressing room.
Tell her exactly how your teeth are holding up. She desperately wants to hear that too.
Let it go.
I couldn't believe him.
So
anyway, I do feel like when compromised, I'm like, I hope nobody can see this. I guess that's the first thought. And then it leads to, well, how would they see this? Oh, I know. A fucker has a camera somewhere. Super. To throw your legs in the air and trust someone to wax you. By the way, you in your head, you thought she's doing God's work because who the fuck wants in these holes? Like no, she's not doing God's work. She's doing Satan's work because she's filming your taint and she's getting money for it. And by the way, who is paying her to see strangers unbeknownst to them?
She claimed that, and I'll find a way to play this for you guys. She claimed that she was posting her waxing so that she was demonstrating how to do waxing.
But you saw the 3-hole punch, right?
Yeah.
So, wrong angle.
No, I think she's totally a criminal. Like, I'm not trying to defend.
Okay,
no.
good.
I want her sadly in the corner crying. I want all of it wrong for her, for sure. I bring all that on her.
And what is the punishment for that? Do you get jail time for filming taint? Like, do you 3-hole punch it?
I feel like once it's out there, it's there forever.
It is.
I don't feel like it can ever be stopped.
Can we go back? If you're really showing your waxing, I don't know, is there not a super furry guy who's coming in for you to share? This is when I would use my green sensitive wax. Or this is when I would, like, why? For sensitive skin, for large areas. Why?
I'm just there's so much that I'm learning. Okay. Tip number 1, don't get waxed. That's number 1.
Tip number 2, have you met my friend Razor? 5 blades, man. 5 blades.
Oh, my God.
It's very disturbing. It's
super
to
creepy.
think that you were violated in such a way. And when you confront your violator, they say, but I make money. I'm making money moves.
You know, people are looking for me. They're looking. So, like, she came up with every excuse just to keep the conversation going. So it's just the whole thing is just makes your mouth drop to the floor.
And what would the right amount of money be for having all of your innards outered on a I'll say it, a porn site? Like what's the price that makes
really
it
what OnlyFans is? Is it pretty much just porn? I've not gone to OnlyFans.
It's pay for porn. Porn's free. It's kink. It's pay kink.
Is that all it is though? Or are there people in there like selling
it's all it is.
Car parts and I have no idea. But why would I have gone there? No. I don't go to Nextdoor. You think I'm going to OnlyFans? Jesus, Gene's too much for me. It's an app on your phone.
Nextdoor is an app on my phone, but I only open it when I get the email that says Gene wants to know about your teeth.
Okay, here's your homework. Here's your homework, kids. Delete. Are you on OnlyFans? You are on OnlyFans?
I'm not. No, but I thought you were asking. I thought you were asking, dear listener.
I said, here's your homework. Are you on OnlyFans? And you nodded. So you were just agreeing, like, let's ask all of our
ask your listener.
If they,
let's find out.
Yeah. But what do you have to do? Do you have to pay to go there? I don't understand this stuff. I don't want this stuff in my life. I don't want it in my life. And I certainly don't want other people's waxing butterfly lips flapping at me when they're, frankly, fraudulent. Poor thing.
Right. If it were somebody who had their own account who said, would you like to see me self-wax, left leg up, right leg up? Sure, you have a right to do that and your kink takes you there. But it's the secret cameras. It's the 2020s that I've seen that make me fucking crazy about secret cameras. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't support it. I prefer Jean's theory of tell me how great I am, show me your teeth over I've gone
Show me your teeth. It's a very sad New Orleans pivot for Iowa.
Show me your tits. Do you think
Iowa.
my daughter, when she goes to the University of Delaware, will be at the Deer Park and the train comes by and everybody will what?
Show me your teeth.
Yeah. Dear listener, if you don't know, you lift your shirt when the train comes by and you just show your tits. It's twice a day. I think it happens, or twice a week. I don't even know. It's very rare. And everybody did it. But to show your teeth and not your tits is just it's a violation. Get out of all of my orifices. You're
Jean,
gross.
You misunderstand this platform. I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah, I think that's it. But she's making money, so maybe we misunderstand that platform. I'm curious to know from those who know more than we, which is
pretty big
everyone, which is a wild set of everyone. What the fuck is OnlyFans for? I thought it was for show me your tits. I thought it was for masturbate on camera. I thought it was for you doing you, so to speak. Well,
Really?
so to speak.
They do
You
all
doing
the
you.
stuff? It's just a free you could do everything there? I'm really
Yeah. So I would like
I don't
more
know,
information.
Steph.
We will have
Okay.
more for the next show, I promise. But what I need more is to hear from you guys. What the fuck do you use OnlyFans for?
Oh my God.
No, not happening. I got a really good tip this week. And I hate to tell you, it was from a Peloton instructor.
Oh, but
And-
it always is.
And Cory Booker. Those are my
Okay.
two main influences in my life.
If you could have Cory Booker as your Peloton instructor, I don't
Oh
think
my
you'd
God,
ever
yes.
leave the basement.
Cory phrased it, when you are happy, be kind. When you are sad, be kind. Always being kind, right?
Yeah.
And Peloton phrased it in the tip form. Leave a big tip. Unless you have exceptionally horrifying service, no matter what it is, just tip well is the answer. You are putting good, and I hate to even say this is my husband's theory too, you are putting good in the world. It comes back. It's not going to come back in the same form, but it comes back. We are very lucky, except for the fact that I'm quickly going blind, and I'll talk to you after my colonoscopy, whatever is growing inside. We're blessed humans. Why not pass that on? Why not do that? So the Peloton instructor is from like Cape Cod-y area or up there in the joyful, and she grew up in a resort town. And she said, when you go on vacation, tip the locals well, or treat locals really well. And she obviously has stories, but I think that fits everywhere. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, be kind and tip well. Can you live with that?
I already live by that, and to the point where I really go out of my way to make sure that other people are adhering to that policy when they're around me, and just that they ingrain it in a part of their lives too. Because it can be, in the case of tipping,
Yeah.
it can be really provocative. You can be really tempted to decide that you are the teacher giving a report card to the student, that you are there to judge and grade what they're doing.
That sounds douchey.
In the form of the tip. That's how lots of us have been, how tipping has been ingrained in our brains.
Yeah, I guess.
Over generations, because
I
it
had
comes
shitty
down
service, you get $1.
that comes down to the tip is my way of saying whether I think you did this right. And that's not really what it is.
What other
the
job
tip-
do you think outsiders can come in and say, I'm going to tell you you suck at your job, and I'm not going to give you part of what sustains you while having this job? It's just this one.
In America, the tip is not exclusively that, and I would posit it's not that at all. The tip has become a custom whereby the customer pays a portion of the employee's salary in exchange for a lower bill. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not a grade of that employee. We're not hiring that person or keeping them employed. The tip is our cultural custom of being in partnership with the people providing a service so that we can supplement the income of the person doing it. And there are lots of establishments who are taking a different model and saying, we don't do tips. So even if you give a tip, it won't go to the person that you're leaving it for. We put it here in this bucket. So please don't tip. And if you do, thank you. Here's where it will go. Here's what we're supporting. Here's what we're pulling all
causes?
Together.
They're putting it towards causes?
Yep, because we believe in paying a fair wage. And so that's why your sandwich costs $2 more than maybe you thought it was. Or that's why,
you have a lot of places like that by you?
We do have a lot of places, and they're growing in number. And
I like
more
that.
and more hotels will say, oh, no, thank you, when you offer them a tip for carrying your bag or whatever, this kind of thing, just trying to get away from the practice. So it really starts to get back to this notion of it's a courtesy, it's a thank you, it's a nice to, right? Right now, it's not that. So if you're stingy with the tip, that's even worse than being kind when you're happy, being kind when you're sad. When you're stingy with the tip, that's you saying, fuck you harder. Fuck you harder right now, because I'm not even going to pay you what you're worth, what I'm supposed to pay. I'm not going to pay my share because I'm getting away with it for free. It's when someone suggests a donation at a museum and you say, my suggested donation is $0 because what are you going to do about it? Ha ha. That's what a low tip is. If it's a suggested donation, put some shit in there and put in a little bit more than you think is reasonable. Put in a higher tip than you think is reasonable. Do a little bit extra effort work, because think abundantly. You have more money coming to you always, and you're going to earn more than the people who are asking you for a little bit of value for the thing they're providing. That's just the spirit of
Well,
what you're
that's
saying.
just it. They are providing a service. So if somebody is cooking for you and bringing you food, you should be wildly grateful. And for me, especially because I don't cook, I'm super grateful and pretty super content also to leave that tip. But I was going from the Cory Booker one of the being kind. He was at a friend's father's funeral. And the guy, you get to the end at a Jewish funeral where the only thing left to do is to take shovels of dirt and cover the casket that has been lowered. So this friend of his walked over, left his mourning spot, his father, and he went and he tipped the guys who did the digging and who did there's a point in your life where the only thing that's left in you because of either sorrow or some other distraction is gratitude for those who are around you. And if you don't have gratitude, your eyes are not open because this world is interconnected. Is it harder to feel that way when you watch on TV the January 6th hearings? Yes, it is harder to feel that way. Brian?
I mean, I'll admit something ugly about myself, which I really don't like and find troubling. And that
which we
is
do all the time on this podcast.
Hey, big surprise, old territory. So they're in the news this week. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh was threatened by someone approaching his house with a gun and, a plot to take him out, right? Wrap him up, put him in a wax boat and ship him off to wherever the fuck. He was going to do he had some weird ass plan where he was going to do it, right? And in my quiet moments, I thought, fucking good. Fucking good.
Do it.
Right? Let's I am grateful that you now feel terrorized by the very people that you think should have open, free access to whatever they want, to do whatever they want. And that's ridiculous. I don't actually believe it, but somewhere in me, like the Will Smith slap,
Yep.
that visceral response was good.
Oh,
And it
I
really
disagree,
gave me
but
it gave me a different perspective, because when the same, actually far more egregious, but a very similar thing happened to Governor Gretchen Whitmer,
right.
that's when I thought, how horrifying that people have been actively plotting and getting together from multiple states and driving with guns to hold her hostage and do it was a far more elaborate plan, but it was a
far
plan.
more elaborate. To be honest, from what I've read, this lone practitioner called the police on himself. He self-reported to say, I'm somewhat near there. I hate him. But here's the most despicable part of that story. There are 7 to 9 bills that are being floated around right now in Congress that are aimed to restrict access to firearms, really AR, really assault rifles for the most part. And one of them changes the age limit for acquisition. And there are so many things that the Republicans, I'm sorry, I took the soapbox back out, that they will not even negotiate. Don't even bother bringing this to the floor. Don't bother. And was it Ted Cruz who said, Democrats, you better step up today as I put a bill out to put more security on our Supreme Court justices. Fuck your children. Fuck your churches. Fuck minority communities. These
when
9
it's someone
individuals.
we actually care about.
Oh my God. I was on fire that he came out and said, this has to pass today. Really? Because somebody died and there was a tiny little crackpot who called the police on himself who had his own suicidal tendencies or thoughts or whatever.
But let me interject.
Inject away.
That's the risk. That's the reason to talk about it in this context. And the reality is we have to set a standard that applies to everybody, even when it's uncomfortable. So it was egregious and upsetting, and I was shocked when this shit went down to kidnap and potentially assassinate an elected official who was a governor. And I was pleased when a similar attempt, idiotically executed, and in no way near the same threat level,
not even
was
close
attempted
on level.
against an appointed official. And that's not okay. I get that it's not okay, but it does really speak to passion drives our decisions, so we need to make sure that the laws protect us from our passions. Truly,
it speaks to the fact that there were Supreme Court justices that got pushed through immorally, illogically, illegally, like shit went down. So it's not like this is an appointed or elected, whatever. It was an appointed official who has the faith of the nation behind them or the electorate, which you don't get elected, but it was acquired falsely. And I have my own thoughts on this too, which I'll also probably cut out because I'm on fire. But I think it's a different passion that's involved in this because you're talking about somebody who is elected by the people and people who are disgruntled. And the answer to that is, do not come up with a plan to kidnap and kill. You come up with a plan to grassroots vote that fucking bitch out if that's how you feel. I like her. She's fine. That's how you handle it. You are talking about somebody who's deciding on the reproductive rights after being inappropriate with other women that came forward who weren't believed. You are talking about a miscarriage of justice that led to this horrible human being and probably 2 others being on this bench. So I feel what you feel when you're like, oh, you want to take him out? Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure, and it's not just because it's somebody who shares my values is in a position to replace this human. It's because you got there falsely and you were wrong and you won. And when somebody is very wrong and they still win, that makes me crazy. If Gretchen Whitmer, if she had done anything close to what these justices have done to get their seats and have a fair vote or something, then I might feel the same way about her too, because Coney Barrett is also there. And I don't know that I would be really horrified by the same attempt being made on her. Like, you are telling, not just because you don't share my values, it's an injustice brought you to where you are. And I tell my kids from day one, I don't want to hear you say it's not fair. Life isn't fair. And it is punching me in the fucking pie hole lately with the it's not fair bullshit, and I hear it in my head and I refuse to say it because I know nothing is fair unless you ask my kids and they say the only thing that's fair, Mommy, is what you and Daddy decide to make fair.
Oh my God. You really
Which is really what we told them when
indoctrinated that shit.
Well, guess what? Your parents are the only humans that can make something fair. Nothing else is fair. And if that, like the expect nothing and be happy with your surprise, whatever, from, my family kind of thing, it's the same theory. It's sad, but it's the same theory. And I don't want to teach my kids that nothing is fair and expect nothing and you're owed nothing. And if you work hard, you can't even be guaranteed. I don't know how to send them out into the world with a positive outlook and tipping well and doing like all of those kindnesses. And I don't know how to do it. As a parent, it's been very hard for me to figure out a way to do that. And part of me is slightly relieved that that part of my job is almost finished. And the advisor and consultant part is about to begin, because I am losing faith in a lot of things and stronghold beliefs that I've had forever. And I don't want them to see it. I don't want them to know that when we marched on Washington and we did. I don't think that's going to help anymore. I think the only thing that helps is I made my calls, the march. It's not going to do it. You need to vote. That's the only thing you could do is vote. And if you know of another way to make a difference, my ears are open and I want to know. I letter write. I vote. I don't march anymore.
I do all the things, and I absolutely know that the majority of things that I'm doing are trying to make myself feel better, because nothing will change based on what I'm doing. Right? Nothing will change based on what I'm doing. There's not anything that can be done by a person alone, right? It is the people in power until their power goes away, because we take it away and say, guess what, the game's over here, or because we put different people in the positions of the power structure that currently exists. That's the only way that this is going to change.
But that doesn't work with the Supreme Court, though.
We can take their power away. We can do lots of things. We're all stuck in this mindset that why on earth are we still limited by our perception of what the framers of the Constitution wrote all those years ago, before they could envision a dishwasher. There's lots of things that don't make fucking sense.
The dishwasher was a slave they'd fuck on the side.
We have to understand
that they did not tip, by the way.
And evolve in the spirit of the action, and or evolve the document to face the realities we fucking face. We travel in space. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break.
What did our forefathers say about that?
So we're all beholden to, there's only one way to do it, and we're going to try and cling to this thing, and it's not flexible, and it's not, something that can be interpreted over time or morphed or adapted over time.
Living, breathing document.
And it's ridiculous to think that the institutions must stay the same as well. There is a Supreme Court system that is based on lifetime appointments, that is based on a set number of judges. Well, there are 9 judges, because when the Supreme Court was established, there were 9 district circuit courts. Well, there's 13 of them now. So why do we not have a representative Supreme Court justice for each of the resulting courts? Why do we need that many? Why is that number sacrosanct? Why is it lifetime? Why can it not be a set term limit that crosses 2 generations instead of all generations for this person's life? There's lots of ways to look at them, lots of ways to look at our entire congressional makeup and how long they're able to serve and how many. I mean, we monkey with shit all the time,
right,
and get away with it. Magically you were in this district, but because we drew some lines differently on the map, all of a sudden, it's now new people, because that means I've cheated the system and can win. It's time for such a systemic overhaul across the board. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it.
But it's not going to happen under Biden's presidency, and it's not going to happen under the next Republican, because then it's going to be, okay, so when it happens in favor of the political party. There's so much more that needs to be done that I cannot see. You and I talked about the stress of things and taking things in tiny bites and small pieces, and that makes everything, cleaning the house, whatever it is, just more doable, approachable. I can't imagine the small bites it would take to even start that beautiful society that you were putting together through that living, breathing document.
Well, here's the only thing that I'm even wanting to bring it full circle, because it's the reason that I mentioned Justice Kavanaugh. Or is it Judge Kavanaugh? I don't remember. Whoever.
It's both. He's a Supreme Court justice, yeah.
And Governor Whitmer. Because they are in similar situations, and we should have a society and a government that treats the response to their victimization the same. It should be fair. It should be equitable.
Ted Cruz should have done it way back when. We need to protect.
Yeah. So I'm saying that's tricky and that's difficult. And that comes all the way full circle to the compassion, sickening as it is, that I must now feel and should have always felt for the many disloyal, misguided individuals who attempted to overthrow our government on January 6th, because they were fueled by exactly the same thoughts and feelings and actions that we're discussing here. They absolutely were. And they decided that it ain't going to change until I fucking change it by force. And that's not okay. And the way they did it wasn't okay. And what they were fed was also a giant lie. We're not talking about
changing it by force. Right. They were brainwashed.
I'm talking about changing it by means outside the existing system. And in a simpler, non-judgmental way of looking at it, that's what they were attempting to do. The system itself is, if I were to put myself in that mentality, the system is so fucked, it cannot unfuck itself until I destroy the system. So that perhaps was one of the operating mentalities. Now, I'm not saying that's my response to this. What I am saying is marching and letter writing and knocking on doors, all of which I have done every year for the bulk of my adult life, and having posters and calling senators and petitioning and picketing and screaming and fisting in the air and all the things, and social media and community building and lighting candles and singing songs and fucking standing and camping out at people's offices. All this fucking effort has resulted in the slow, steady restriction of my rights year after year after year after year after year. So it's time for a new methodology. I don't think it involves attempting by force to burn our sacred traditions to the ground, but I do think we need to come at this shit a different way, instead of trying to let's get a tighter monkey hold inside this idiotic system.
I want to know that way. I want to join you. I want to, because I'm tired of feeling the way I feel. I'm not one to grab a gun and go, but I tried to put together a network that if, God forbid, my daughter needed an abortion after this state, which has gone both different colors, I know that I can make sure she's taken care of. She's not who I'm worried about. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about the victims. I'm worried about the moms who have 3 kids there's no single parenthood. Like, I'm worried about people who can't take the day off of work to travel 3 states away because it's the only place they could get an abortion. I'm worried about other people. So as it is now, I listened to another podcast where they say, I'm putting together a network of people who are offering their homes if you need to go, so you don't have to pay for a hotel, or if you need in states where abortion will still be allowed. And if you would like to put your name on that registry or that network and provide for whatever it is you can provide, call us, let us know, and we will put you on the registry.
If you need to go camping, if you need to go camping in a state because your state doesn't allow camping, and you want to go to another state to go camping, then
correct,
because
if you don't say camping, they're taking you down too. I guess we just really have to have faith in what our kids learned from us while they were growing up, being the open-minded good tippers.
That's who we are. Tips out, tits out.
Yeah, I mean, you cook, so I'm glad for your innate generosity, and you also know. That doesn't go to the cook, by the way. It just goes to the person that tripped and dumped that whole
Never
tray
makes
of
it all the way
iced tea
back
on
to
you.
the chef. That's
Right.
for fucking sure. Yeah.
I don't even know how to close this. Dear listener, here's the moral of the story. If you're going to drop your pants in a room, no matter what that room is, check for cameras first.
Amen to that.
I can't be clearer. There's probably a camera. So check it out and don't get caught with your pants down. And tip well. We love you. Thank you for listening. I hope that this week is a joyful week for you, and your weekend, you win your softball game and all good things.
Bye. So there's enough people who are trying to live through this moment, and if we were not able to come today with the butthole jokes that make everybody, guffaw their way past it and forget for a few minutes, then maybe we just talk about it, because that's what friends do. And the show's about friendship and living through life even when it fucking sucks.